So you want to be more confident. You're told to just be yourself. Fake it till you make it, and to stand in front of a mirror and tell yourself you're a tiger. What you actually become is a person who quietly mumbles affirmations before walking into a room and then spending the next hour apologizing for existing. The advice feels hollow because, on some level, it's not based on anything real. The problem with faking it is that you're faking it. Your brain, that powerful machine between your ears, is an expert at detecting fraud, especially your own. It feels inauthentic, and that feeling of being an imposter only fuels more self-doubt. If you haven't guessed by the title, building confidence is actually very easy. You've just been trying to build the roof of a house before you've laid a single brick for the foundation. The problem isn't a lack of some mystical confidence energy. The problem is that your daily habits are riddled with dozens of tiny confidence leaks. Every time you say, "Does that make sense?" after making a perfectly clear statement, you're creating a leak. Every time you apologize for having an opinion, sorry, this might be a dumb question, but it's a leak. These are small, subconscious habits that signal to everyone, including your own brain, that you don't believe in what you're saying. They are micro-confessions of self-doubt that, over time, erode your self-perception. Most of us live our lives with a mind that operates like this. This isn't a personal failing. It's a feature of our evolutionary wiring called the negativity bias. Our brains evolved to pay hyper attention to threats and failures for survival. So negative events have a much stronger impact on our psychological state than positive ones. Our mistakes, our failures, our embarrassing moments, they feel heavy. They stick around. Meanwhile, our successes, our small wins, the things we do right every single day, they feel as light as a feather. We barely even notice them. Confidence isn't about ignoring the doubts. It's about systematically and deliberately adding more weight to the other side of the scale until the evidence is undeniable. You cannot think your way to confidence. You have to prove it to yourself. Your brain is a skeptical judge, and it needs cold, hard evidence to be persuaded. Forget thinking positive. You're going to become a data scientist, and the subject is you. For the next 7 days, you have one mission: to gather data. You're going to build a case for your own competence so compelling that your brain has no choice but to rule in your favor. This isn't about delusion. It's about correcting the record to reflect the full, balanced truth of your capabilities. Here is your first actionable framework. It's not a mindset. It's a task. Get a notebook or open a document on your computer and call it the evidence log. Your job is to log every single win, no matter how small. Did you make your bed? Log it. Did you resist the urge to check your phone for 10 minutes? Log it. Did you finish a task you were procrastinating on? Log it. Did you speak up in a meeting, even if your voice shook? That's a huge entry. Log it. This is a direct intervention against the brain's natural tendency to filter out the positive. You are manually directing your attention to your accomplishments. This sounds deceptively simple, but it is a powerful psychological hack. You are actively fighting your brain's natural negativity bias. You are forcing it to acknowledge your competence, discipline, and effectiveness on a daily basis. This isn't about arrogance. It's about accuracy. You're just creating a more balanced and truthful record of who you are and what you do. By the end of the week, you will have a list of 20, 50, maybe 100 pieces of undeniable proof that you are capable. When self-doubt creeps in, you will have a written record of facts to consult, not just a vague feeling to fight. The second part of building your evidence is the competence stack. This framework is built on a fundamental psychological principle: the competence-confidence loop. True, shakable confidence comes from knowing you can do things. But you don't start by trying to become a guitarist. You start by learning one single, manageable thing: how to play a G chord. You practice it until it's clean. That is your first block of competence. Then, you learn a C chord. You stack it. Then a D chord. Suddenly, you can play thousands of songs. You didn't try to be confident. You simply acquired the skill through deliberate practice, and the confidence came as an inevitable byproduct of that proven competence. Okay, you're building your internal evidence. Now, it's time to take it into the real world. Forget the advice to take a huge leap out of your comfort zone. That's terrifying and often leads to failure, which only reinforces fear. Instead, use the 1% rule. This is a form of progressive desensitization, a therapeutic technique where you gradually expose yourself to a feared situation in a controlled way. Your goal is to be just 1% bolder today than you were yesterday. If you normally stay silent in meetings, your 1% goal is to just type a comment in the chat. If you did that yesterday, today's 1% is to unmute and say, "Agree with that." It's about small, manageable stretches, not giant, terrifying leaps. This is a system of progressive desensitization for social situations. You are training your nervous system, one tiny step at a time, that these scenarios are not threats. Each time you step 1% out and nothing bad happens, you log it in your evidence log. Asked a question in the meeting. The world did not end. +1. The comfort zone isn't a wall to be smashed. It's a muscle to be stretched, gently and consistently. Over time, these small acts of courage accumulate, building a robust foundation of social confidence based on repeated, real-world experience. I'll be honest, my natural state is not confident. For years, I would rehearse simple phone calls in my head. The first time I ever applied this, my one bolder goal was to simply send an email to someone I respected without rereading it 20 times. I just wrote it, read it twice, and hit send. My heart pounded, and then, nothing happened. The world didn't end. They replied positively a few hours later, and that nothing, that absence of the catastrophe I had imagined, became a powerful piece of evidence. Building confidence isn't about big, heroic moments. It's about surviving the small ones and logging them as proof that you're more capable than you think. So, let's put the blueprint together. Building confidence isn't a mystery. It's a simple, powerful philosophy. Meaningful growth requires clarity, discipline, and a solid blueprint. You become your own data scientist with the evidence log, correcting for cognitive bias. You become your own teacher with the competence stack, building skill from the ground up. And you become your own coach with the 1% rule, gently expanding your capabilities. This is a system for building an authentic, evidence-based belief in yourself. It is not a feeling you hope for. It is a result you build. The goal isn't to become loud, arrogant, or the center of attention. The goal is to have your internal state of belief match your actual, demonstrated abilities. It's about closing the gap between what you can do and what you believe you can do. Real confidence is quiet. It's the calm assurance that you can handle what comes next because you have a history of handling things. You don't need to shout about it. You have the evidence. You have the receipts. Forget temporary motivation and empty affirmations. If you're ready to cut through the noise and build a future with genuine purpose and direction, this is your place. We provide actionable frameworks that create real, lasting momentum. For more no-nonsense strategies to master your mindset and take intentional control of your journey, subscribe to The Blueprint Life. A new blueprint is released every week. It's time to start building.